For just a bit of background, Zillow, if because it's not in Singapore, but for our audience, Zillow is a U.S. property company. They own a real estate listing website, and I think 3 years back they started a division to buy homes. So instead of just Zillow, listing something and being the platform, Zillow themselves went to buy the house and fixed it up slightly and sold it on, and that became a new revenue stream, right? And I think two weeks ago they announced that they bought too many homes, and they had 7 or 10,000 homes in the US that they were looking to sell quite quickly, but they couldn't at a big loss, except for a loss. And just earlier this week, they announced that their whole iBuying, their whole home buying division will be shuttered, and over the next few quarters, all the staff members will be let go, right? So this is a bet that has moved on and has gone wrong, and the company has very quickly exercised it like a tumor and go, yep, we are closing it, we don't want you anymore. And of course, because of that, their share price has dropped by 25-30% since the news was first announced.
Got it. So to take a step back, Zillow does real estate listings. So think of it like a Property Guru or a 99 Co. Is that right?
Yes.
Then,
yes, that's right.
After which, what you said was that they needed to make more money, more than just agent fees and everything else. So they were looking at flipping homes.
Yes. So apparently you could go to Zillow and they'll give you an estimate of your price, like going to SRX, right? It's and like as a seller, right? And you could click sell, and that would be the beginning of the transaction with Zillow. So you don't need an agent to bring people in. You don't need to arrange for viewings. You need to arrange for one. A Zillow inspector comes in and kind of looks at the house, see that the pictures are okay, sold.
Got it.
As a homeowner that wants to sell a house, if I'm not, but if you are, I think it's fantastic, right? You save so much time. You don't need to keep the house open on weekends for like open houses and all of that. You have you don't need to negotiate. It's a fixed market price. You sell. You don't need to worry about the buyer getting financing. It's so easy, right? And that's fantastic. I think where it went wrong slightly was that Zillow didn't really know what they wanted to do. Yeah. Okay. So they had two kind of different models. The first was that they wanted to be a market maker. So essentially what they thought of was that, I can buy this house, there will be demand for it. I just need to fix it up a bit and then I can sell it quite quickly. Right. So it's like in the shares world, having the bid-ask spread and trading both sides of it and getting a cut of it. Right. The second was, I'm a listing, right? I'm a listing service platform. I have all the data. I can use machine learning. I can use AI, throw in all your tech buzzwords in. I can have a relatively predictive model of the price, and that informs my offer. Right. So they think that they had a technological advantage over, the good old-fashioned way of buying and selling homes.
Yeah. So if I get this right, and what I'm understanding from you is that, number one, they were buying homes, right? Obviously to make a bit more money, but they also had an algorithm on the back end to estimate the actual cost, and they're banking effectively that the algorithm was correct. So, for example, this would be a very good way to get arbitrage, because they could buy that home, and then the algorithm would say actually it's worth 20% more. They would then buy that house for 20% less, and immediately put it on the market for 20% more.
Yeah. Yeah, you would think that that's an easy way to be predictive, right? But they did not want to do that. At least in the reasons that the CEO stated why they failed, they said we were not looking for underpriced homes. We were just looking to facilitate more liquidity, right? So I see the frown, right? That's where it gets weird. If it was your model, I completely understand. They would never have had so much homes because it's a hot market. You can't get 20% less, right? But yeah, it's mad. They seem to think that houses were shares and all houses were the same and it's easy to sell. But I guess they realize it isn't.
Well, it's an illiquid asset or a non-current asset for a reason. So.
Yeah, and it's not fungible, right?
Exactly.
House A is different from House B, unlike one share in Tesla is the same as another share in Tesla. So yeah, it's a waste. I mean, but I think it's also a lesson that you have very interesting business models. You can have all the tech and data buzzwords that you want to use, but the proof is in the pudding, right? You still have to check how a company executes and not just how a company says they'll execute.
Got it. Interesting. Anything else about Zillow you want to inform our coconuts?
Yeah, I think, well, just going on a tangent, right? Because they are not the only company in the US doing this. There's Zillow, there's Redfin, there's Opendoor. And Zillow has quite obviously failed in its iBuying type of business. Redfin and Opendoor are announcing results soon, right? So it'll be very interesting to see how they have held up in this market, which has kind of destroyed a competitor, right? And my thinking is, and especially for Opendoor, because this was their core competency to begin with. They were never a listing platform. They were just interested in home buying. If Opendoor has great results in this market, I think we can start seeing it as a genuine moat, right? Because it has a model and it can execute in a way that works where its competition cannot, even with the same data, right? They have a better model, and I think that goes towards justifying whatever valuation that they will have in future, because they have shown that they have the expertise and they can do it, whereas others can't. Other really smart people can't, right? I mean, Zillow had good engineers. They had good data scientists. It just did not work out.
Maybe their mindset was a little different, because their focus was liquidity. It wasn't effectively arbitrage. It wasn't effectively... So they needed more houses in their website. And if there wasn't enough, they'd go and buy some and put some there. Would you say that's where they looked at it?
No, I think they needed somebody to come in and actually list it. So they would, at the very least, there haven't been stories about them willy-nilly just going out offering people who didn't want to sell. There were people who were already interested. They just made the selling process a lot
easier,
which is great, right? Real estate is a market ripe for disruption. We just need to disrupt it in a way that everybody wins. We need real estate 2.0. We are still at 1.0, we need 2.0.
And we can use Web 3.0 for that one. So
yeah, we could. I mean, we can talk about this later, but there's lots of interesting things about moving our title deeds into blockchains, and moving our conveyancing process onto blockchains, and making it a lot easier and needing less lawyers, which is always great. So yeah.
You'll be out of a job soon.
It's a story for another day. No, I don't do that, so it's fine.
Awesome. No, I think it's good to, like what you said, let's look at the competitors, right? Opendoor, I think would be good for me to look into, just to find out exactly whether this is a viable market strategy, right? Maybe just Zillow just did it wrong, and there is a correct way to go ahead and do that.
Yeah.